Oh, hello, don't mind us. We're just getting set up. I hope you're pouring your coffee by now. So, do that. Okay, hold on. We're almost ready for the show. You can start watching now. You should have had your coffee ready from the get-go. Of course, it's not a requirement, not a prerequisite for admission to the show, but it's in the title of it. So, Chatty Coffee Talk. Let's chat. So, today we are talking about, of course, what is on everyone's mind. Okay, it's not on everyone's mind, but it was on ours long enough for us to be like, we could pad out a whole episode talking about that. So, pizza. You think pizza, and you start thinking to yourself, there's all sorts of iterations, shapes, and forms that pizza has taken over the last good bit of time. Okay? We could start at the scratch of doing a historical deep dive as to the origins and where it necessarily came from and stuff like that, but that would entail a lot of work, and there's probably no exact certain way that it should go, but we do have a little story that we can't verify or anything along those lines in any way, shape, or form, but it's one that one of our ancestors had told us, and now we will tell it to you. You are welcome. Sit back, take a sip, enjoy the ride of your ears, or whatever. So, back, God, this would have had to have been like, 1900 something, or somewhere around there. Maybe a little after. Okay, we'll say between 1900 and 1930, okay? One of our elder ancestors, no longer with us, bless, told us the story of how kids would come to school from other origins and nationalities and things of that nature. Okay, remember, giant melting pot, a lot of fresh faces, all right? And there was a group of kids, palmed the screen for Lamar Jackson edit. I don't know what that is, but sure, Lamar, have at it, Lamar. I don't know what a Lamar Jackson edit is, but yes, palm that shit. I think we did. You're welcome. Where were we? Yes, kids from different origins and nationalities and things like that, all conglomerating into the school system, all right, and partaking in a little thing called eating or lunch. I don't know what they called it back then, but we didn't get that part of the story. What we did get, though, is some kids, okay, a family had shown up, and they sent their kids to school with, I'll bet you guessed it, pizza. That's right. They had just a homemade flatbread pizza, sauce, cheese. Super basic, super all that, okay? Kids didn't know what the hell they were eating, okay? Some kids were even making fun of them for having had such. Quarterback in Baltimore Ravens, 23, he was named MVP. Well, good for him, yes. We don't watch so much of the football nowadays. What, he has more career rushing yards than Cam of the Newton had when he was a rookie? I thought he had some good rush yards, but we haven't watched football in years. Don't bet on football if you can't win. I don't know. Yes, hello and hi to all ones of you joining us. We are talking pizza, and we just enlightened all ones of the folks that were with us. Hi, Mom. With the story of one of our older relatives, no longer with us, bless, talking about how back in the early 1900 whatever. Yeah, kids showing up to school with their lunches brought from home, and they brought pizza. A iteration and version of pizza that hadn't been seen by the rest of the locals. Like, what is that? Some kids laughed. Ha ha! What are you eating? That doesn't look like old bread dipped in water. They're like, he's a pizza motherfucker. Well, they didn't say that. And that's not the story we got. So some of that is ad-libbed. But if we're eating it, that's probably what we would say, because it's fantastic. But that's an early taken iteration. Guess what? That caught on. The folks that brought their knowledge base of pizza and how they like pizza and enjoy pizza came and reshaped the entire pizza industry of the Western world. If you look at where pizza was, okay, kids bringing it homemade to school playgrounds and getting made fun of for having something that looks so foreign, so different, so weird and, unique and something they hadn't seen before. But you know what? It was jealousy right off the bat. If you see someone with pizza and you want pizza, jealousy, right? It rears its ugly pizza head. And you know what it was like on those school lunch days when it was pizza day. You better hope they don't run out of pepperoni by the time Charles gets his. Charles will freak out. You think we haven't seen a kid get bashed in the head with a napkin dispenser at a public high school before? Because we have. We did go to a U.S. public school. Shit. What? No guns? No. Not allowed. Jeez, there's signs. We're talking pizza. Kids started bringing it. It caught on. And folks began to want it more and more. And can you blame them? If you don't like pizza, sure, you probably could. Be like, way to go, have it catch on to the rest of society every time I step out of my front door. Stay in there, closeted pizza hater. You have a challenge ahead of you, trying to convince all ones of us why we shouldn't like or want pizza on occasion, or on many an occasion. More occasions than are warranted. That's beside the point. It comes down to the fact that pizza went and became a modern staple. Not only that, you have virtually entire aisles almost, or giant patches of aisles, okay, that are dedicated solely to frozen pizza. Frozen takes on pizza, frozen French bread pizza, frozen mini pizzas, frozen pizza bites, lean cuisine mini personal pan pizzas, big other frozen pizzas. You can go over to the deli area. Some grocery stores have pizza restaurants inside them because people enjoy pizza that much. One of the biggest failures that we feel, and of course we aren't professional, well, don't worry about the failure part, but we aren't professional restaurateurs. But one of the things that we always seem to think that leads to the failing or potential failing of a restaurant or business that opens up is the fact of what Gordon Ramsay would do on all of his Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, whatever. It's one of those shows or neither of those. Okay? He would comb the area, comb the streets, okay? And figure out like, hey, you got 6 pizza joints in 2-block area and you're trying to sell pizza. Probably not a good idea. You're going to be a steakhouse now or whatever, okay? That's just how in an area, it seems, the failures come. And that's because there's such a desire for pizza. Everyone wants their own take and unique experience. And hey, this is the new map marker pinned in Chicago deep dish area to go for the new take on new pizza take. Okay? And so they open up a pizza joint right next door to a laundromat that's right next door to a fucking pizza joint. Probably not a good idea. Might make a really good pizza, but guess what? You don't offer delivery right out the gate? You're losing out to Domino's and Pizza Hut and Papa John's that are right across the street, right down the road and right next door to you. The, customer has frozen pizza options, all this, that, the other. They could go to the grocery store, pizza store in the store. You can get take and bake pizzas. You can make your own pizzas. It's really challenging for a business to come in where there's already a swath of something there and be able to, just jump into it. And be thinking that they're gonna, have a $1 million business. Hey, you always open up in the red with restaurants, from what we understand in here. And to, undertake even a harder uphill battle of competing against all your competitors that are already competing against you in business with their, in essence, established clientele and everything like that. It's a massive uphill battle. You best be opening up a deli. So we don't got enough of those. Or we do. I don't know. Look at your own area if you're doing that. The point is that the reason people take that chance, and the reason why they open up that fifth pizza store, and why everyone has their Granny's secret sauce recipe, and why everyone has their favorite makes and builds and deep dish and mix and blends of cheese and the perfect toppings and where the perfect toppings are from. Better ingredients, better pizza, motherfuckers. Or something. I don't know. Everyone has their takes because it's such a hot, desired commodity. Or it might not be a commodity. Maybe we're using that word wrong. And we very well could be. But we're not going to check. You know why? Because when you talk about pizza, you can be wrong about all sorts of other elements and aspects of things and still come back to pizza. Oh, you're tired of just cheese? Why don't you slap some olives on it? I don't know. I hate olives. Well, then don't put them on there. We're just giving options. You don't have to do it. But we're talking pizza. And there's so many iterations and takes. Say you're tired of traditional pizza. Well, then you chop it up and you eat it with a fork and it's like a whole new different dish. It tastes a hell of a lot like pizza, but it's good. You got different toppings, you got different means, you got different ways, different avenues to, make and acquire and have pizza, this, that, the other. Like we said, whole grocery store aisles virtually dedicated to it in multiple areas. The freezer section, yeah, you got all the frozen pizza commodities. Oh, there's that word again. Then in the dry goods, you got your Bolboli crusts and your Hormel pepperonis and your other stuff. They even put vegetables that sometimes go on pizza way over in the fucking produce section, and you gotta walk from the freezer section to it. I should have started on this side of the store. Well, live and learn, right? All those parking spots were full. Fuck. That's how it goes sometimes. But how it also goes is pizzalicious. Because once you ascertain what the dynamics of pizzas are and where they sit in your weekly routine, and you need to focus on it for the week. Okay, we were joking about cutting up the pizza, eating it with a fork, and it being a different dish, though. Maybe it's not that big of a joke, and we should try that. It's probably another way to enjoy pizza and not calling it pizza. But let's look at the other takes. You are sick of pizza. Say, oh, that's enough pizza, which it's not. But let's say it is, for argument's sake. Look at the other iterations of pizza that are out there, okay? Let's go Totino's pizza rolls, okay? Now, is that pizza? Well, it's a pizza roll because it consists of what they consider pizza. English muffin pizzas, is that pizza? French bread pizzas, is that pizza? Bagel pizzas, is that pizza? Is pizza pizza? Are we pizza? Yes, because you're made up of different toppings. What? Well, shower more often and wash that shit off. You get a little carried away. But when you talk about pizza in any iteration, any take, any way, any shape, any form, yes, okay. Oh, we forgot all about that. Good call. Thank you, Isaac. Yeah, that's in the description somewhere. All right, why Ninja Turtles eat pizza instead of cereal? Well, we actually have a hypothesis on that. We're going to share it with you because we get to do whatever we want. We're on this end. Excellent. It's like being powerful with no power because everyone hates this show. But what they don't hate is pizza. And some people don't hate Ninja Turtles. So if we talk about those two things, that's ones of views guaranteed. 1 million subscriber-fications, here we come. We'll hit it within the next decade or two tops. Bam. Get your money, YouTube. Hell yeah. Anyhow, yes, Ninja Turtles. So, our hypothesis on why Ninja Turtles don't eat cereal and why they eat pizza instead. Okay, sit back. This is going to be quite the hypothesis, really. I mean, hope you were on your second cup of coffee. But yes, Ninja Turtles obviously live in the sewer. That is not a state of contention, okay? Let's agree on that. The Ninja Turtles live in the sewer. Okay, and that's where they are. Splinter and everything. They leave in Ninja Turtles 1 when the subway station, gets attacked or their first place gets attacked. They find the subway station later. It's awesome, whatever. Okay? They live in the sewer, hands down. Now, the reason why they eat pizza instead of cereal is no milk in the sewer. Okay? That's a huge one. When people dump out their cereal in the trash, okay? Usually, they'll drain the milk first, okay? Now, yes, the milk goes down the pipes into the sewer, but it's mixed at that point. And while Donatello is a hell of a scientist, the distillation process to separate milk from sewage water is ridiculous, okay? They started to write an episode about that. Baxter Stockman was probably in it. Maybe even the Foot Clan and Shredder made an appearance. But they scrapped it because the scientific reasoning and processes behind separating milk from sewage water is, something that only those bigger corporations can do before they slop it onto store shelves for us to purchase. Well, only they're able to do that. But that's just part of it. No milk in the sewers. Sure. Okay. All right. So if you concede that point, we're guessing you do. Next thing you got is cereal. When people throw away cereal, it's usually for one of 3 reasons. Now, the first reason, it goes stale. All right? No one wants to be chomping stale-ass cereal. Okay? They'd rather have cold-ass pizza or maybe even stale-ass pizza, probably. It's like eating stale chips when you're eating stale cereal. They're not good or as good. And you usually don't want to eat them. Or stale crackers. Really, any stale stuff isn't as good as it is when it's not stale. So, that's, another reason there. Okay, so you got no milk in the sewers. So Ninja Turtles, they ain't pouring milk on cereal. What, you going to eat it dry? No. You got stale cereal thrown away. Like, is that your first introduction to Fruit Loops? Is a stale Fruit Loop? You think that's going to, be your number one palate go-to? Even if it's like almost a full box, okay? Like someone's like, these went stale, throw these away, okay? And it's like old Fruit Loops, okay? And Ninja Turtles are like, cowabunga, excellent! And they fucking grab a handful of that shit like, hey, Mikey, check this out. And Raphael starts fucking hand deep in that stuff, right? It's like, oh, this stuff's kind of chewy and shitty. Yeah, man. It tastes stale, okay? If that's their first introduction to Fruit Loops and to cereal itself, You know, they can't go to Splinter and be like, hey, Splinter, is this shit stale? Because they don't know. They don't know if that's what it tastes like right out of the gate. So it's like, this is what Fruit Loops taste like. Fruit Loops is just stale. Now, we're not saying Fruit Loops stale. If you're all ones of you just joining us, okay, we're just talking about how the Ninja Turtles might, desire pizza over cereal and why they don't eat cereal and they do eat pizza, okay? And that's no milk in sewers. People throw away cereal for just a few varieties of reasons, okay? It goes stale and bad. It's part of a bowl that they already dumped the milk out down the sewer. Okay, goes away. So it's all soggy and, disintegrating and stuff. Anyway, Ninja Turtles wouldn't even know what that is. They wouldn't even be like, I think this is cereal, Donatello. Donatello would have to reconstruct that shit. Okay? And, like we said, fantastic scientist, but to reconstruct a food item that has disintegrated, okay, because it's been soaking in milk and trash juice and everything like that prior to it even being discovered in a trash bag as they're rifling through it like it was us growing up looking for a new Christmas surprise. Find all sorts of stuff in the trash can. The only difference is you should really wait until your neighbors are asleep before you start rifling through it. Oh, man, does that cause problems. But anyhow, don't worry about that. The point is that Donatello, very well, would not be able to reconstruct melted and disintegrated Frosted Flakes, okay, you wouldn't even be able to tell what they are, okay? So that's another reason why they would get rid of it. All right, now, this one will support an argument for why Ninja Turtles would like cereal, but it's going to be less common, and statistically, okay, it's going to be all over the place with a bunch of variables, all right? So, the last reason people would chuck that shiznit, okay, aside from it being stale, aside from it being old that they already ate out a portion of, okay, they just don't like that cereal, okay? So say, for instance, Cheerios, okay? They got that temporary, what they do, the strawberry chocolate Cheerios came out, okay? Some people might like the strawberry chocolate Cheerios, and some people might not. Oh. Crazy. That's a fact. Pretty much. So because you have some people that like it and some people that don't, the people who like it will commence eating it. And they will go through their aforementioned purchase and product and enjoy it wholeheartedly. The folks who don't like it, however, that will not be stale by the time they get rid of it. Now, here's where the variables come into play. Because we could say that someone's like, ugh, horrible, I hate these Cheerios. Straight in the trash. Hey, that's a $5, $6 box. If you're in rich people areas, it's probably a $6 or $7 box. Okay? Jeez. If you have a whole box that you spent $6 or $7 on and you're just throwing it away, oh man, high roller. We'd be choking that shit down. You didn't see we milked content on those Kit Kat Lemon Crisp reviews? We did that shit twice. That was a big fucking bag. That motherfucker was like $12. Hell yeah, we made 2 videos out of it. No one watched them. That's beside the point. If you buy a box of cereal, okay, you eat a bowl out of it, you're like, oh, this is horrible. Generally, you'd either choke it down like we do in our case, like, oh, we made this bed, let's eat in it. Stop eating in the bed. Don't worry about it. Her mom washes the sheets on Thursdays. You either choke it down, deal with it, or you give it away. Okay? Now, say neither of those happen. Okay? Be like, oh, hey, Bob, you'll love these strawberry chocolate Cheerios. Bob's like, I'm allergic to chocolate. Blah, you're trying to kill me. Like, oh, sorry, Bob. I always forget that part. Here, have a Kit Kat. Oh, you're doing it again. Okay, no, don't worry about that. So the point is, usually you would give away your box of cereal, okay? Or suffer through it, okay? But say that doesn't happen, and the variables and stars align, and the cereal gods shine down, all the way into the sewers where the Ninja Turtles are. A box of uncontaminated, unstaled, deteriorating box of cereal. And the Ninja Turtles were to go like, hey, Mikey, check this out. Crunch, crunch. Oh, it's fresh. It's good. Okay? They still don't have milk. Okay? So, for pretty much those reasons and those reasons alone, okay, so the milk is the biggest part. And most bowls that get thrown away, sometimes they're chipped, cracked, broken. It's not like they're going to be eating cereal out of their hands with a spoon with milk, okay? They got I don't even know, 3 or 4 turtle fingers, however the fuck that, works in the show, okay? But the bowls that are down in the sewer that they do find in the trash are going to be broken probably, or chipped, cracked, okay? A variety of issues. Now, say they do have good utensils and serving apparatuses and things of that nature, and whatever plates and bowls that they do need, okay? Say, Pier 1 went out of business again and was like, hey, here's all this shit no one wanted to buy for $1,000 fucking dollars because it was way overpriced. Might as well just throw it away. They do that, right? And they're like, be sure to break them so no one can get them out of the trash. Pow, pow, pow. You gotta break all that shit. Right? Ha! Depending on who you are as an employee, we got all sorts of shit that's been discontinued. Don't worry about it. Don't tell all our bosses that fired us. In fact, fuck it. Who cares? Fuck them. Anyhow, no, that's mean. The point is that Ninja Turtles are far better off with stale old pizza that they would acquire or come across in the sewer than cereal. So, to answer your ones of question comment from 10 minutes ago, I say that does a pretty good job. Yes, hello all ones of you joining us. Boy, are we on a tirade about pizza today. And we had a giant segue because Isaac reminded us to talk about the Ninja Turtles and their cereal eating endeavors and or our hypothesis and take on it. Now, while everyone regrets him doing that, it padded the hell out of this episode. So Isaac, another cup of coffee to you. Only instead of another cup of coffee, we got this much left. So we'll still kick it for a minute. Go ahead, interact with a shitty internet celebrity. Give us all ones of your comments. Okay, we see we have to float this thing ourselves still. That's fine. We're used to floating shit ourselves. Except when we swim. We're not so good at floating with ourselves. We need a floaty. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, let's go ahead. Let's get back to the nitty-gritty, okay? The nitty-gritty of the different types of pizza that exist and are in existence. We talked about, is Totino's Pizza Rolls a pizza? But let's talk about French bread pizza, pizza bagels, homemade pizzas. We've made pizzas on tortilla shells as a thin crust-esque pizza, and that stuff was pretty banging. You can make pizza out of Wonder Bread, and you can still get some semblance of pizza from it. Now, is it good? Depends on what your toppings are. You're better off with a French bread pizza or something with a heavier, stronger crust. Okay, because French bread pizza's banging. But if you're stuck with Wonder Bread or something like that, it can be done. I mean, hell, look at Lunchables for Pete's sake. They've had those pizza Lunchables out for a while. And whilst we have never got one for ourselves, I think we tried a cracker thing once, maybe a pepperoni. That is the most unappealing and unappetizing thing. For us, to each his own. that we could ever picture fucking bring it to school in our school lunch. Now, granted, Lunchables were for the rich kids growing up, obviously. You know, fucking, hey, what kind of Lunchables do you got today? Blah, look, I got little meat sandwich stick cracker things. It's like, oh, yeah? Good for you. They look good. Oh, it comes with a dessert? Must be desserty. I don't know. Rich people are crazy. They bring desserts in their Lunchables. Anyhow, so all the rich kids had the Lunchables and things of that nature, but if there's one Lunchable that we wouldn't want, even if we had the opportunity to get, it would be the pizza one. Because that ain't no fucking pizza. That's just a cracker with, some sauce and cheese on it. Okay? Pepperoni too. Whatever. However you build it, however you make it. The point is that, yes, they call it their pizza Lunchable, but is it pizza? Well, arguably, sure. And we'll concede it. We'll just concede that it's a pizza we don't care for. Okay? Now, if you want to stack them up, hell, you could make a lot of pizzas that individuals don't care for. Absolutely. We wouldn't necessarily care for the pizza on a piece of bread, flat bread. Okay? While we are okay with the pizza on a tortilla shell as a super thin crust something or another. All right? It's not the worst thing. We would do that one again, but it's not like we would strive to do that one again. If we had the option between a French bread pizza and a just thin crust pizza, okay, on a tortilla shell, obviously we'd go the French bread pizza. But we are going to share with all ones of you, and you're lucky, a recipe for a French bread pizza, okay, that is better than you think it is. You're going to be like, that shit sounds disgusting, and those that don't appreciate it will be like, oh, that is disgusting. But all ones of you that catch this, you are welcome for this one. It is better than it sounds. Believe you me, it is better than it sounds. All right, French bread, right? Here's a little French bread. No, that's your hands. Whatever. You cut that mug. Right? Okay, so we're at that process. You've cut the French bread. You have it open, okay? Now, here comes your tomato sauce. Get that shit out of here. No tomato sauce on this build, okay? What? No tomato sauce? That's not pizza. Oh, it's gonna be. Okay, hang tight. Okay, French bread opened up. Get some ranch dressing. What? Ranch dressing? No! Yes! Yes! Both sides! Now, we like to get the back end of a spoon and swirly it around and make it nice and pretty. But if you want a drizzly trail of shit on your food, that's up to you. But we're telling you how to do it properly and correct. Why would we listen to you? Could I don't know. Because this build is great for pizza. All right. French bread, ranch. However you apply it, we like to evenly distribute it amongst the bread we can see. Mozzarella. Dill pickle chips. Shake them off when they come out of the jar. You're going to soak your pizza. Blot them with a paper towel or something. Fucking pickles. It's a dill pickle pizza without marinara, with ranch. Okay, so it's not as complicated of a build as, we made it be, but holy moly ravioli if it's not better than you think it is. Now, we prefer our dill pickle pizza one step further. We like to put pepperoni on it as well. So the build is crusty bread. Not really crusty bread, but yeah, bread, ranch, cheese, dill pickles, and we like pepperoni on it. Dill pickle pizza, it's okay. You don't even need the pepperoni on it. It's okay. It's better than it sounds. Now, if you hate ranch, pizza, or pickles, don't make it. Or do. That'll be funny. You'll love it. Just kidding. You won't. But we don't care. We're not there to experience it, and it's not our money spending it on the products. So that's on you. Those that do want to try it, though, all ones of you that happen to stumble across this because your algorithm hasn't been deleted in your cache, you really need to clear that if you're here. Just saying. You might want to. It's okay, I use a VPN. I track that from what I hear. I don't know. We're not professional computerologists. That's not even a thing. Well, don't worry about it. That's why we're not one. Because it would be if it was, obviously. But dill pickle pizza, man, better than you think it is. So there you go. Look at that. That's like the first recipe we've ever shared on ChattyCoffeeCrew. Oh, man. Now's a family secret, so don't tell anyone. We won't. Okay, good. No one will see it anyway. That secret's safe. Anyhow, are we still talking about pizza, you might ask to yourself? Well, yes, we are, because that's what this episode's about. But we're almost out of coffee. So if you have any interactions you want to do with a professional, shitty celebrity, now's your chance. We can entertain ones of questions at a time. We're lucky that this chat feed keeps up with itself very well and doesn't move at all. Because if it did, we would be missing all sorts of stuff. Is cereal a soup? Hell yeah, cereal's a soup. You eat it with a spoon, don't you? Everything you eat with spoon is a soup. Applesauce is a soup. It's a soupy apple. I don't know, sounds good to us. So yeah, absolutely. Great interaction, Isaac. You get the gold star for the day because you're the only one helping out. You're going to have a great day. I don't know, I caught this in the morning. Ah, shit. Well, you know, you would have had a great day. But yeah, cereal absolutely is soup. Let's change it. We're not talking about pizza anymore. That episode's over. Now we're talking about what is soup and what can be constituted or construed as soup. So, our SpaghettiOs soup? Hell yeah, that's tomato broth with little circle noodles in it. And meatballs to mine? What kind of meatballs? Good question. Yeah, that is a good fucking question. You better have your own meatballs you're adding to that shit that you made. Just joking. I'm sure Chef Boyardee knows his shit. That one meatball that lady hacked apart in that viral video was probably staged and made by AI before AI even was really implemented in the means that it is now from years ago. There's no way that was a disgusting meatball of sorts. What else is soup? Is melted ice cream soup? Hell yeah, that's cold soup. All sorts of stuff can be soup, yeah. I think almost everything's a soup. Good looking out. Let's see. Soups. Yeah. Yogurt's a soup. Yogurt's absolutely a soup. That's just like chunky milk or something with stuff in it. Sounds like a soup to me. You eat it with a spoon. So. But cereal being a soup is absolutely up there. It's just not, as lengthy of a process to put together. So, Hi, I just joined the room. Where's the pizza talk? Well, we're over the pizza thing. We're talking about soup. Isaac changed the topic. That's how this show works. It's not really structured that great. So, that's how it goes. How it also goes, unfortunately, is we are about out of drink. And by we are about out of, we actually are. So, there's no more coffee for us to enjoy here. So if you want to dip set and get out of here before we do, now's your chance. And, as always, remember once again, we don't need your subscription. We need your money. So Downvote the shit out of this and give us a buck. Get off our lawn!